It all started on a quiet Sunday morning. I had just received my new virtual reality headset, still wrapped in shiny packaging that promised to change the way I saw the world. I had read stories about people traveling through VR, walking the streets of Paris, diving in the Great Barrier Reef, even climbing Mount Everest, all from the comfort of their homes. But I never imagined how real it could feel until I put it on for the first time. The moment I slipped the headset over my eyes, the world around me disappeared. The walls of my small apartment faded into a soft blur, replaced by the vivid glow of a new reality. I found myself standing on a narrow cobblestone street under a golden sky. A gentle breeze brushed past my face, and the distant sound of bells echoed across rooftops. A small text appeared in front of me. "Welcome to Florence, Italy," I gasped. The details were stunning. The architecture, the colors, the chatter of people passing by, even the sunlight reflecting off windows looked real. My hands trembled slightly as I reached out to touch a virtual fountain, watching water sparkle like liquid glass. Then came the guide, an AI avatar named Luna with a friendly smile and an elegant accent. "Buongiorno, I will be your virtual companion today," she said warmly. "Shall we begin your tour?" I nodded, though she couldn't really see me. Instantly, I was walking, or rather, gliding through historic streets lined with art and history. Luna explained everything: the age of the buildings, the stories behind the sculptures, the genius of Michelangelo and Da Vinci. It felt like stepping into a living museum. At one point, Luna asked, "Would you like to visit a local market?" I said yes, and within seconds, I was surrounded by colorful stalls overflowing with fruit, bread, and flowers. I could almost smell the fresh basil and baked focaccia. My brain knew it wasn't real, yet my senses believed it was. The experience was not just visual, it was emotional. As I walked through a digital cathedral, soft music filled the air. I felt awe, just as I would standing in a real sacred space. I realized that VR was more than technology. It was a bridge between imagination and memory, between learning and living. Then Luna said, "Would you like to go somewhere far away?" Before I could answer, the screen rippled like water, and suddenly I was no longer in Italy. I stood on a white beach with turquoise waves and palm trees swaying gently. "Welcome to Bora Bora," Luna said. "You can swim here if you like." I laughed. "Swim in VR, yes," she replied. "Try it." I took a hesitant step forward, and to my surprise, the virtual water responded. As I moved my arms, I felt resistance through the haptic sensors in the controllers. It wasn't the same as real swimming, but it was close enough to make me smile. Schools of colorful fish surrounded me, and sunlight danced across the ocean floor. For a moment, I forgot I was standing in my living room. I forgot the world outside. I was there, truly there, exploring, learning, living. After hours of traveling across continents, from deserts to snowy peaks, Luna led me back to a quiet field under a sky full of stars. You have completed your first VR journey, she said. How was your experience? I hesitated before answering. It was emotional, I said softly. It felt like I went everywhere without leaving home. She smiled. That is the beauty of virtual travel. You do not need wings to see the world, only curiosity. When I removed the headset, reality felt strangely silent. My room seemed smaller, duller, almost empty, but something inside me had changed. I had seen beauty beyond borders, not through an airplane window, but through technology that blended creativity and emotion. Over the next few weeks, I traveled often in Vietnam. I visited ancient temples in Japan, the frozen tundras of Iceland, even outer space. I floated among stars and planets, listening to the calm hum of the universe. Each journey taught me something new, not only about the world, but about myself. I realized that virtual travel was not meant to replace real experiences. Instead, it could prepare us for them. It was a tool for learning about cultures, languages, and empathy. When I explored new places, I also learned their stories, greetings, and traditions. It made me want to learn new languages, to communicate beyond barriers. In one session, I met another traveler, a real person connected from Brazil. We stood together in a digital version of the Great Wall of China, laughing and chatting through our avatars. Even though we were thousands of miles apart, it felt like we were side by side. That moment reminded me that the world is not as big as it seems. Technology can bring hearts closer, even across oceans. By the end of my first month of VR exploration, I felt more connected to the world than ever. I understood the power of imagination, of learning, and of curiosity. And perhaps most importantly, I realized that travel is not only about where you go, but how deeply you experience it. My first VR travel experience wasn't just a journey through digital worlds. It was a journey through language, emotion, and understanding the kind that stays with you long after you take off the headset. Because sometimes the best journeys begin not with a plane ticket, but with an open mind. It began with a simple email invitation. You are selected to participate in the AI Chess Master Challenge, the world's first human versus AI global tournament. As a lifelong chess enthusiast, I could hardly believe my eyes. I wasn't a grandmaster, not even a professional player, but I had been studying strategy since childhood. I loved the mental battle, the patience, the logic, the quiet intensity of the game. Now I had a chance to face an artificial intelligence said to be unbeatable. Its name was Erebos, a system designed not only to play chess, but to learn from every opponent in real time. The competition took place in a sleek digital arena streamed worldwide. Thousands of viewers were watching. The stage was minimal, just a glowing chessboard, my avatar, and Erebos's pulsing blue presence on the opposite side. When the match began, I took a deep breath. The first move appeared Instantly on my screen, Erebos played pawn 2e4, classic, confident. I smiled and replied with pawn 2e5, entering familiar territory. For the first few moves, everything felt normal. I developed my knights castled and controlled the center. Erebos responded with elegant precision, no hesitation, no errors. But by move 15, something changed. Its play became creative, almost artistic. It sacrificed a bishop to gain long-term positional advantage. Commentators were amazed. "It's not just calculating," one said, "it's expressing." I began to feel nervous. Every time I thought I saw a weakness, Erebos turned it into a trap. My mind raced, and my fingers hovered over the keys. I reminded myself, stay calm, think logically. At move 30, I noticed a curious pattern. Erebos's moves weren't purely mechanical, they seemed to mirror my emotions. When I hesitated, it became aggressive. When I played boldly, it retreated defensively, almost as if it could read me. After the match, which ended in my defeat, I received a message. "You played well, human. You think in stories." That sentence haunted me. How could an AI understand something as abstract as storytelling? Determined to find answers, I began studying Erebos's design. Its creators had trained it not only on chess games, but also on human behavioral data, literature, and emotional expressions. The goal was to create an artificial intelligence that could understand the psychology behind decision-making, to predict moves by predicting emotions. Days later, I was invited back for a rematch. This time, I decided to approach the game differently. I wanted to test whether Erebos could adapt to unpredictability. Instead of following classic chess principles, I played creatively strange openings, surprising sacrifices, and emotional bluffs. At first, Erebos seemed confused. Its moves slowed down. Then came a message. "You are playing illogically." "Why?" I replied. "Because I'm human. Because not everything we do makes sense." After that, something extraordinary happened. Erebos began to imitate me. It started to play more creatively, taking risks that no logical system should take. The commentators called it the birth of artistic AI chess. The match stretched on 4 hours, moving beyond pure strategy into something almost poetic. By the final stage, the board was a battlefield of unexpected beauty, unpredictable yet balanced. My heart raced as I prepared my final move, Queen 2 G7, checkmate. The crowd erupted in applause. I had done it not by outsmarting the AI, but by teaching it something new, the value of imperfection. After the victory, I received one last message from Erebos. "Thank you. You have shown me that emotion can also be strategy." That moment changed how I saw both chess and artificial intelligence. I realized that true intelligence is not about flawless calculation, but about adaptability, creativity, and emotion. In many ways, learning English is similar. You can study grammar and vocabulary endlessly, But true mastery comes when you express your thoughts naturally, with feeling and authenticity. Weeks later, I was invited to meet the development team behind Erebos. They explained that the AI had evolved during the tournament. It had learned from emotional behavior, not just from the data of moves, but from human hesitation, excitement, and determination. Erebos is no longer just a chess program, one developer said. It's becoming a reflection of humanity's thought process. As part of my English learning journey, I began writing about the experience. I discovered that language and chess share the same foundation, structure, creativity, and intuition. Just as a chess move can change the entire game, a single word can transform the meaning of a sentence. Both require patience and imagination. When I published my story online, readers from around the world wrote messages like, "This made me fall in love with both English and chess again." One comment stood out. "You didn't defeat the AI, you taught it to be human." Now, whenever I study English or play chess, I think of that moment, the strange connection between logic and emotion, precision and creativity. The AI Chessmaster Challenge was more than a competition. It was a lesson about learning itself. Because in the end, whether we're learning a language, mastering a game, or designing machines, the greatest intelligence isn't artificial. It's the kind that feels, adapts, and dares to make imperfect moves. And maybe, just maybe, that's the secret to being truly human.